Good morning, students. Today we are going to discuss the topic is structure of kidney and functions of the kidney. Kidney, it is mainly reddish brown in color. It is bean-shaped structure. The kidneys are arranged into the abdominal cavity of human being. The kidneys is slightly lower than that of left due to presence of liver in right side. That's why somewhat imbalance of the kidney. And the outer surface of the kidney, it contains cortex region, and inner surface of the kidney, it contains medullary region. And here it is present into the backbone. From backbone abdominal region, last third lumbar vertebrae. Beside of the vertebral column, right and left side kidneys are present here. So approximately the kidney weight is 120 to 170 grams. So here the structure of kidney, this is the structure of kidney. Here it is the cortex region, and inner it is called as a medullary region. It is the cortex outer and medullary region inner side. And next here outermost the delicating tissue layer, that is called as a renal capsule. The renal capsule is protecting of the kidneys. The kidneys are mainly retroperitoneal in position. Right. Next here the cone shaped structures are forming. The cone shaped structures is called as a columns of Bertini. These are called as a renal columns or columns of Bertini. And here inner side of the renal columns cone shaped structure, it contains different parts, that is the medullary pyramids. These all are the pyramid like structures are forming. These are called as a medullary pyramids parts. And each and every medullary pyramid, outer cortex region and inner convex medullary region, between the projecting layer is forming, that is called as a renal papillae. Here renal papillae are forming, renal papillae. And next one here the extending notch like structure is forming, it is called as a renal arteries, and renal veins are forming here. The arteries carries oxygenated blood, the veins are carrying deoxygenated blood here. And here below the renal pyramid, it contains the calyx region. It is the cup-like structure is forming, it is called as a calyx. From calyx region, the extending region is forming. The extending region is called as a pelvis region, renal pelvis region. And here the tube-like structure is forming. The tube is called as a ureter. The ureters are mainly whitish tubes-like structures are forming here. The whitish tubes, it is made up of transitional epithelial cells, and it supplies here it is supplies H2O molecules, means water or nothing but the urine. Now the ureter through the urinary bladder, the connecting region tube-like structure or the bag-like structure is forming. The bag-like structure is called as a urinary bladder. The urinary bladder also, it is made up of transitional epithelial cells. Okay, and here it contains inner side of the tissue endothelial cells. Here it contains the sphincter muscles are forming. Contraction of the and relaxation of the sphincter muscles, the urine here external and internal urethral sphincters are forming. Through the external and urethral sphincters, now extending region is called as a urethra. Urethra in females and male, it is called as a penis. Through the urethra, the urine is passing into the outside. So likewise, from ureter to urinary bladder, and urinary bladder is a bag-like structure. It is storage sac-like structure. It is a bag-like structure situated lower abdominal cavities of human being, abdominal region. So this is the structure of the kidney. It is the cortex region and inner side medulla region. Likewise, the all parts are present here. Okay, and if you see here the structure, the third lumbar vertebrae and backbone here, abdominal region of the kidneys. Here right kidney and left kidney, right is somewhat lower than that of left because due to presence of liver. And see here the inferior vena cava, this is called as inferior vena cava, and next one it is called as a pelvis region. The pelvis is called as the renal pelvis region, and here it is the inner side of the tissue, that is the what is that medullary region, or here it is called as a medullary pyramid. So columns of Bertini's are forming here, and it is outermost region cortex and outer cortex protecting delicate tissues forming, that is called as a capsule. So it is protecting to that kidneys, and above the kidney here the gland is present. The gland is called as a adrenal gland. Adrenal gland is present above the kidney. Okay, so adrenal gland functions, we know about the adrenal gland. It is releasing the hormones, various types of hormones, adrenaline, noradrenaline. So generally we are called as a flight or fight hormone above that adrenal gland. Okay, see here renal arteries are forming. The renal arteries are carrying the blood, oxygenated blood, and renal veins are forming here. The renal veins are carrying the deoxygenated blood. Okay, so likewise renal arteries and veins both are forming. This is the kidney. Okay, and here dorsal region, dorsal aorta, and from kidney the tube-like structures are forming, whitish tube-like structures. It is made up of transitional epithelial cells, that is called as a ureter. So through the ureter, the urine is now reaching into the urinary bladder, and urinary bladder after it is reaching into the urethra. Through the urethra it is eliminating into the outside. So that is called end product, that is the waste product, that is called as a urine. If you see here the ultrastructure of the kidney, when we are seeing the ultrastructure of kidney, it contains 1 million of nephrons. 1 million of nephrons. Here it contains the two parts. The parts is called as a first one, that is the efferent renal arteriole, afferent renal arteriole, and efferent renal arteriole. Here renal corpuscles and renal tubule is forming, renal tubule. Okay, see here in this corpuscles afferent renal arteriole. If you see the afferent renal arteriole, it is the afferent renal arteriole. Okay, and now this part it is called as a glomerulus part, and through the glomerulus now the part it is called as a efferent renal arteriole. Efferent renal arteriole. Now this is the efferent renal arteriole. It is the efferent renal arteriole, efferent renal arteriole. Okay, now cup-like structure is forming. The cup-like structure it is called as a Bowman's capsule. So it is called as a Bowman's capsule. Bowman's. This is called as a glomerulus. Now see here, glomerulus and Bowman's capsule together called as a Malpighian tubules. Malpighian tubules. So likewise the Malpighian tubules are forming here. Now it is the glomerulus part, it is the Bowman's capsule part. Now the neck region here, this is called as a PCT. Proximal convoluted tubule is forming here. Now see in this diagram here, it is the afferent renal arteriole, and next from afferent renal arteriole here the what here, it is transmitting blood, okay, as well as H2O molecules. Now here it is called as a Bowman's capsule part. Now Bowman's capsule it contains different tissue masses or mass tissues forming here. On that tissue it contains different types of cells. That is called what here? That is the first one is called as a podocyte cells are forming, podocytes. Okay, podocytes. And next pores-like structures are forming in this layer here, the second layer, that is called as a filtration slits are forming. Filtration slits. And filtration slits after the mass-like structure or layer-like structures are forming, that is called as a fenestrations. From these layers here they are filtering completely here, H2O molecules are reaching here on that cup-like structure, that is called as a Bowman's capsule. This is called as a now Bowman's capsule. See in this diagram, this is the Bowman's capsule. From Bowman's capsule, now the H2O molecules are reaching into the PCT region. PCT means proximal convoluted tubule. This is called what? PCT, proximal convoluted tubule. Okay, from proximal convoluted tubule, it is the near to the neck region of Bowman's capsule. Now from proximal convoluted tubule, it is now next extending region. The part is called descending limb loop of Henle. So descending loop of limb loop of Henle, and now next one, it is curve-like structure or U-shaped structure is forming here. This is called as a ascending limb loop of Henle. This region is called ascending loop of Henle. Now descending limb and ascending limb, both we are called here the loop of Henle. In PCT region, the wall is somewhat thin region. Here it is made up of, when it is reaching into the DCT region, when it is reaching into the DCT region, it is made up of thick substance or thick wall is forming here. See here in this diagram, from Bowman's capsule, it is the part, the Bowman's PCT, proximal convoluted tubule. And in this part, first one, what is that here? They are reabsorbing H2O molecules, whatever they need, sodium and chloride and potassium, etc., etc. Whatever they need, they are reabsorbing. When it is reabsorbing, the tissue is absorbing again. Now it is extending part or extending region is it is supplying the H2O molecules, so that is the descending and ascending limb. Likewise, it is now reaching into the where it is reaching into the DCT, means distal convoluted tubule. This is called distal convoluted tubule. Okay, from distal convoluted tubule, now attaching region or tissue tube-like structure is forming. This is called as a initial collecting duct. Now the initial collecting duct is forming here. From initial collecting duct, now it is called as a straight collecting duct. Now straight collecting duct it is called. From straight collecting duct, now the urine is reaching into the Bellini tube. From Bellini tube, now it is reaching into the renal pelvis region, and from renal pelvis region, now it is reaching into the renal papillae region. From renal papillae through the renal pelvis region, through the renal pelvis, now it is reaching into the calyx pot, that is called as a renal calyx pot. Okay, so this is the calyx pot. It is called what? Renal calyxes. Through the renal calyx, now it is reaching into the what is that? Hilum region through the ureter. Through the ureter, it is reaching into the renal bladder, and whenever the urinary bladder, it contains transitional epithelial cells and external and internal urethral sphincter muscles. Now it is reaching into the urethra, and from urethra it is eliminating into the waste product outside. So that is we are called as a urine, that is highly concentrated. Okay, so the concentrated substance we are called as a urine. It is not excreted product, it is the waste product. Okay, see here. The Malpighian corpuscles, it contains PCT and DCT part. PCT means proximal convoluted tubule. Okay, see here PCT region. Here this region is called cortex region. It is the outer medullary region. It is the inner medullary region. See here the loop of Henle is very short. The loop of Henle, it is called as a loop of Henle. Okay. The loop of Henle is very short, and it extends into the very few little into that medullary region or medullary pyramid is called here what is that? Cortical nephrons. It is called cortical nephrons. Cortical nephrons. Cortical nephrons. If loop of Henle is very long, okay, loop of Henle is very long, and when it is extending into the deepest part of the tissue, deepest part of the tissue of the medullary region or medullary pyramid region, that is called as a juxtaglomerular cells. Okay, so cortical nephrons are juxtaglomerular nephrons. Juxtaglomerular nephrons. Okay, so cortical nephrons, it contains loop of Henle is very short. Okay, and extend into the very little bit amount of projections into that medullary region. If you see here juxtamedullary nephrons, the loop of Henle is very long and extend into the deepest part of the tissue. Okay, that is called juxtamedullary nephrons. Okay, so likewise here the cortical and juxtamedullary nephrons are forming from in this outer and inner side of the medullary region. Now this is the what is that? H2O molecules, further it is forming here, that is the urine. In this formation of urine, it involves various steps. That is, the first one is called as ultrafiltration, okay, and second is the tubular secretion, and next last, that is the secretion is mainly by the PCT region and DCT region, and next loop of Henle region, and loop of Henle after DCT region, and last it is further forming as a urine. The urine is passing into the ureter through the urinary bladder. So likewise, the excretory product is eliminating here. See here in this diagram, this is the structure of nephron. 1 million of nephrons are there in each renal pyramid or kidney. See here, this is the afferent renal arteriole. From afferent renal arteriole, now this is called as a efferent renal arteriole. Okay, efferent renal arteriole. And now through the efferent renal arteriole, it is the extending region. Extending region, it is called neck region, is PCT region. From PCT region, it is covering the region, that is the next descending limb and ascending limb, and it is extending into that completely loop of Henle, up to loop of Henle. Now see here, once afferent renal arteriole through the blood is now reaching into the glomerulus. When it is reaching into the glomerulus, now it is reaching into the efferent renal arteriole. It is the efferent renal arteriole, okay. Now the efferent renal arteriole, now it is transmitting, okay, blood. Likewise, the blood is transmitting here, okay, from one tube to next, likewise. So this is the one-way direction. From efferent renal arteriole, the blood is supplying here, okay, likewise, okay. So this U-shaped structure we are called as a vasa recta. This is called what? Vasa recta. See in this vasa recta is absent in cortical nephrons. It is MSET or NEET point of view. And vasa recta is present into the juxtamedullary nephrons. Okay, it is very, very important point here. It is a U-shaped structure. It is the vasa recta. And next extending part, that is the what here, the extending region, likewise it is supplying blood here from one-way direction here, okay. Now it is reaching here into that kidney, right, renal artery, right. And now the blood is supplying likewise. See here in this diagram, here afferent renal arteriole, it is called as a Bowman's capsule. Now here it is filtering with the help of cells. When it is filtering, the blood is moving likewise, okay, it is moving likewise. So from PCT region, it is reaching into the loop of Henle region. Through the loop of Henle, now the blood is, urine is reaching here likewise, okay. See here, both are here anti-parallel direction. The blood and urine, the blood is coming one-way direction, the urine is going one-way direction. Both are the anti-parallel directions. So this mechanism is called as a counter current mechanism. This mechanism is called as a counter current mechanism. Counter current mechanism. Okay. So this is the structure of nephron. Today we discussed. Thanking you all, dear students. Please subscribe my channel. Thank you once again. Thank you.